Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sepideh Nouri. I'm CEO of VivaMed. VivaMed is a medical device company that builds a novel neuromodulation device for treatment of obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, is a sleep disorder where breathing is repeatedly interrupted due to the collapse of tongue or neck tissue in the back of the throat. The symptoms are usually loud snoring, gasping for air during sleep, and excessive daytime fatigue. Treating OSA is very important because a moderate to severe OSA that remains untreated can cause severe health risks, such as increasing the chance of a stroke by 2 times and cardiovascular mortality by 5 times. Severity of sleep apnea is shown by an index called AHI, which is the number of apnea events per hour. And if AHI is higher than 15, patient has a moderate to severe OSA. 30 million adults in the US have moderate to severe OSA, but only 6 million patients have been diagnosed so far. This number, however, is on the rise due to the public education and an increase of use of wearables. For example, Samsung Galaxy Watch received FDA approval for detection of OSA, and the new Apple Watch that is planned to be released this year is expected to detect OSA. The untreated OSA has also have a significant economic burden, which is about $150 billion per year in the US. Let's go through the treatment options for OSA. The first step in treating OSA is a CPAP machine, but there is a high number of non-compliance rates associated with using them, which is higher than 35%. This is due to the mask discomfort, skin irritation, leakage, and nasal drying and bleeding. Another initial treatment option is using oral appliances, but they are usually less effective than CPAPs. And with the long-term use, jaw can move forward permanently and cause joint pain. When the initial treatment options are not effective, surgical options are usually suggested, which are oral surgery or hypoglossal nerve stimulations. In the case of oral surgery, this is a highly invasive surgery that with a long recovery and can permanently alter the voice and cause difficulty swallowing. The other surgical option is the hypoglossal nerve stimulation, or HNS. Hypoglossal nerve is the nerve that controls the tongue movement, and by stimulating this nerve, tongue can move forward and opens the airway. And VivaMed offers a less invasive and more advanced HNS device compared to current devices available on the market. Let's look at the patient journey toward receiving an HNS implant. After recognizing the symptoms, the patient usually goes see a sleep doctor, do an overnight sleep study, and if the HAI index is higher than 15, it's been diagnosed to have a moderate to severe OSA. After that, the initial treatment are usually lifestyle changes, CPAP therapy, and oral appliances. After a couple of months, the patient comes back for the follow-up and check the efficacy of the initial treatment. And if they are not effective, the person will be checked for the eligibility assessment for receiving an HNS implant. And if the person is eligible, they will receive an HNS implant. But the currently available HNS devices on the market are very invasive. In this picture, we see the implantation of the Inspire medical device that is the main HNS device on the market. We see it has a large implanted battery, and from that battery, 2 long leads, one goes to the lung and another one goes to the throat. This surgery requires also 2 large incisions. Our solution is much less invasive, as shown here on the right side. This is a small wireless and batteryless implant that doesn't have an implanted battery or long leads. The procedure is simpler, so more doctors can do it, and it doesn't have to be done in hospitals. Doctors can do it in ambulatory surgical centers, followed by a faster recovery. Our implant is already built and tested in animals. On the left side, we see the picture of our implants. In the middle, we see a picture of animal experiment where the implant is tested and powered up wirelessly using radio frequency waves. And we have published several Nature articles on this work, and key patents have already been granted. In this space, there are only two commercial stage companies. The largest one is Inspire Medical, and then it's Nyxoah. As you see here, our technology have many advantages over the devices offered by these companies. These are features that are important for the HNS treatment. For example, we have a batteryless implant. We don't use long leads. We are the only company that offers both respiratory and blood oxygen sensing that improves the treatment algorithms. And we also use current-based stimulation, which is more effective than Inspire voltage-based stimulation. OSA market is proven and is rapidly growing. In this graph, we see the annual revenue of Inspire Medical in $1 million. We see the revenue has been consistently growing over the past 6 years, and last year it has reached $600 million. That this number only represents 4% of the US market. None of the major strategics, which are Medtronic, Abbott, and Boston, offer HNS therapy. And Inspire Medical, with $5 billion market cap, is already too expensive to be acquired. VivoMed here has a unique opportunity as an earlier stage company with a superior technology that can be an attractive acquisition target for the strategics. Here we are showing the HNS market size in the US. Every year, about 2 million patients are prescribed CPAPs. Out of them, 35% are non-compliant. This results in a $14 billion per year US market size. This procedure is supported by a solid code, and the reimbursement amount is $31,000. We have spent about $6 million in non-dilutive R&D funding so far to develop this technology. We have a fully functional wireless and batteryless implant that has been tested. Large animal studies have been performed on other nerves, such as vagus nerves. Key patents have been granted through UCLA, and the initial team has been formed. Currently, we're raising $1 million in seed funding. This will support regulatory work, the FDA pre-sub animal studies, and make a further progress in the product development. After the seed, we will raise $10 million in Series A, which will take us to the FDA approval. Our revenue strategy is to sell to hospitals and ambulatory surgery centers. And this is a large market, and only 5% market penetration will result in $700 million per year in US revenue. A reimbursement code is established for similar devices with amount of $31K. And our solution offers advantages for payers, physicians, and patients. Payers don't have to pay for the battery replacement surgery. Physicians can do more surgeries in ambulatory surgery centers due to simpler procedure, and patients will benefit from less invasiveness and higher potential efficacy. We have a great team. My co-founder, Dr. Babakani, is a professor of electrical and computer engineering at UCLA. Dr. Jabbarzadeh is our business development advisor and was the co-founder and CEO of Obsidio that was acquired by Boston Scientific. Our clinical advisory team are all sleep surgeons that regularly perform HNS implantation. And by that, I'll finish. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any questions.